behalf of ESPN. My buddy Scott Van Pelt joining us here. You're on the streets of New York, Scott? Is that what's happening right now?
Man on the street. I've always kind of wanted to do this. I feel like I'm reporting live here. We're on Van Dam in the city. It's a lovely day.
Okay.
Moods are sky high with the Giants coming off a dub and the Jets playing tonight. Mets, not so much, but hey, you got the Yankees coming up. So,
Red Sox. Yankees Red Sox on ESPN for starting on Tuesday, maybe for 3 straight days. Scott, let's go.
Well, ride the lightning.
Are you already dressed? Did you fly in your suit? Do you fly in your suit?
Ooh.
That would be next level. That would be next level.
Great question.
Thank you.
This is an oddity with me. All right, I don't want to get too inside the beltway, but you can relate to this. Like the days of doing the late night, overnight Sports Center, Neil Everett and I, when we did it really late, I would just be dressed in like bummy clothes until it was time to do the show. Right. And then inevitably, like with 5 minutes before airtime, I'd be sprinting down the hallway with tying my tie.
Yes.
And so as I've matured and became an adult, I now arrive suited and booted for work. We don't have to be on the air for hours, but I'm properly outfitted. This is what we got. There's the pocket square. There's the lovely Xenia tie.
Nice.
And this is it.
Okay, so later on tonight, when we watch you expertly man a studio for not 1 but 2 games, this is what we're going to see. This suit, the tie, jacket, the whole thing.
This is all I got.
Okay. I like it. Scott Van Pelt joining us from the streets of New York, getting ready to host Monday Night Countdown on ESPN. Let's just jump into it, Scott. New York also home to the Ryder Cup this past weekend. What's your opinion of the golf? Let's start with the golf first up, Scott, on that.
Europe was amazing. They're better at this than the United States, and they've demonstrated that for this entire century, if you will. There's a sincere fondness for one another. There's something about it matters to them in a way that it just, I don't think does on the same level for the United States. And that's not a knock against the United States. It's a compliment to Europe. Their very best players play great. Rory's amazing. John Rahm, bull. And then they've got guys like Fleetwood, who until Justin Thomas took him down, like feel unbeatable. And they knew what they were walking into, Rich. But I mean, look, I've been to Bethpage. I've seen it. There's great things about it. But this weekend was ridiculous. It was ridiculous behavior. There's no call for that ever. And you can turn around and go, oh, they did that in Italy. No, they didn't. People followed Rory McIlroy and Shane Lowry around for 5 hours, and it was personal, and it was ridiculous. Rory called it unacceptable. He's right. But then, maybe not surprisingly, because the Americans are incredible individually, here comes the Stars and Stripes on Sunday, and you heard Luke Donald say, like, those are some of the toughest hours of my life. They could feel it slipping away. And it very nearly did. If Henley's putt on 18 goes, I think it's very possible the American side would have pulled off the comeback, because then the pressure would have been so immense on the European side. I don't know if they could have stood up to it. Wow. But they were a proper and deserving champion in the end. I love Bethpage. I love what it is. I love the passion of American sports fans. But there's a big difference between cheering your guys on and showing up to talk a bunch of crap to people that's personal and was over the top.
Yeah, and also throw projectiles and also heap abuse on loved ones. Like, not even the participants, not even the competitors, Scott. You know,
that's totally beyond the pale. That's just you can heckle people, you could root for your people, and there's some heckling. It happens. But this weekend, you know, hopefully it's a bit of a point where people say, you know what, we're not going to do that anymore.
Yeah,
but I don't know.
And then in terms of the golf as well, can you give a voice to what a captain can actually affect? You know, because one of my favorite sound bites came from Xander Schauffele as Keegan Bradley was being asked about whether he got out captained, and Schauffele interrupts his answer by saying, yeah, he should have told us to make more putts. You know what I mean? Like, and I found that refreshing from Schauffele, as well as supportive of his captain. But what can a captain do, Scott?
Well, if they could do it, then I guess all of the 9 of the 12 that lost it for America would have been able to do better jobs. I think there's setup, course setup is part of it, and Keegan owned that. He said, there's things we do differently. Probably have the rough be taller. We didn't know it was going to rain. We didn't know the greens would be this soft. But ultimately, Europe made a mile of putts when they mattered. And the thing that I think people miss is, the United States played like crap. Not really. Scotty and Bryson played together and were 9 under through 15 holes, I believe it was, and didn't get to play 16 because the other side was that much better. The Europeans put on an outrageous putting display. Outrageous. And so, I think, and this gets a little in the weeds, but there's something called Data Golf, which does a great job of analyzing analytics. And they said this Morikawa-English pairing was the 132nd out of 132. But that's measuring analytics, which doesn't measure what it feels like. And nothing feels like the Ryder Cup. Nothing. And so there are human beings that are involved here. And they felt like there was something with Morikawa and English, and it didn't translate. So you can blame Keegan, I guess. But ultimately, Xander's right. If they make more putts, then that's not the conversation we're having. So I think the captaincy, Luke Donald deserves a massive amount of credit for being as meticulous as he has been and creating an environment where the Europeans feel so invested in one another. All credit to him for that. I don't think you can blame Keegan for not having his guys make every single putt they looked at. But he owned the part that he could have done better, and I'm good on him for that. I'm just bummed because he's a great dude, and you invest a lot, and then you get boat raced for 2 days, and everyone thinks you've done a lousy job.
Here and thinks he should have let him. He should have named himself, Scott, like in a quiet moment, heart of hearts, or are we past that? What do you think?
That's the part that sucks the worst. He should have been on the team 2 years ago, and he was overlooked. I think he's the captain this time around because of that. And then he didn't want to choose himself because he didn't want to not pick someone that was deserving because he knows what that feels like. And so that's the real cruelty, if you want to say it that way, about Keegan's situation. He should have been on the team. They'd have been a better team if they had him.
A few minutes left here with Scott Van Pelt, man on the street, joining us from the streets of New York, already in his suit, getting ready to host 2 studio shows, pretty much, and one for tonight's Week 4 finale here on the Rich Eisen Show. The best football team in the NFL through 4 weeks. Doesn't have to be a team that is 4-0. Could be a team that's 3-1. What do you think, Scott? Best team?
Buffalo Bills.
Why?
Because I think Josh Allen is reaching the point in the matrix where it's all just slowing down. Maybe I'm guilty of just wanting something new, and Philly's a boring answer. All they do is win games. All they do is win games, Philly. I mean, I'm sure in Philadelphia, you'd be like, hey, yeah, that's a really bad answer,
Nice.
Van Pelt.
Nice.
Don't be an ass. And they'd be right. Yeah. All you guys do is win. But I just feel like Buffalo, I said this about Rory at the Masters. I think every man has a time. I just feel like this is Josh's time. That said, they were in a 4-point game with the Saints on Sunday. I guess you can't beat everybody you play by 30. And Miami hung with them as well. But Philly's done nothing to not be the right answer. But I'm saying Buffalo because of that guy right there that you're showing, 17.
Yeah, I'm also looking at the Monday night schedule coming up. Are you going to Jacksonville? Will you be there?
Yep, we will be.
Okay, that's going to be a heck of a night, man. I mean, the Chiefs back to 200, back to 500 at 2-2. Jacksonville at 3-1, kind of feeling it. Liam Cohen's talking with his chest a little bit. That is going to be lit. And then what do you? Sorry,
I wouldn't want to fight Robert Saleh. Not for nothing. I think I wouldn't. Push comes to shove, I'd pass on a tussle with him.
I would do that as well. But I guess if you have no haters, you're not popping. Isn't that what he said back in the day when he was with the Jets? And then there's another 2-banger for Monday night in Week 6. I'm just noticing that as well. And so is the next one that you're going to a Houston at Detroit? You going to Detroit as well, Scott? Do you know
I think so.
Okay.
That might be an aggressive private aviation deal where we go to Detroit, but then fly back to try to do the show from DC from the night one. I don't know how we're going to sort that one out. But we got friends that know friends, so
we got friends who.
We'll see what the boys from Flyhouse can cook up if we can get from A to B in a hurry. But
okay,
I mean, look, it's just great fun. Whether it's a doubleheader with a couple of 0-3 teams and then a team that loses its quarterback, like there's nothing that nothing that moves the needle like the NFL. As you well know, you've
Yep.
made your living so capably and so beautifully
Thank
for
you.
so many years covering it. There's just nothing that captivates our interest and attention, even if it's, you know, a couple of games that aren't quite what we thought they might be when the season started.
All right. Did Kelsey make it back from Ireland for tonight? Do we know if Kelsey's back from his walkabout with Bill Murray from Ireland? Do we know, Scott? Did he make it?
I said we know people that know people. I'm pretty sure he's got people. I know people. I think he's got people. I'm going to say yes.
Yeah, he wasn't on Aer Lingus. Is that what you're saying? Okay.
You're most welcome. Good morning. No, I don't think he's on Aer Lingus.
Okay, he wasn't doing that. All right. And so before I let you go, your worst beat through the first 4 weeks of the season is what? What was your worst beat, Scott Van Pelt?
If you had the Rams in Philadelphia,
Yep.
had 26-9, and you didn't get there because a field goal was blocked and a 330-pound man ran 18 miles an hour to score, that won't be topped. The good news is you won't lose a more excruciating bet than that.
That's great.
That's one way to put it.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So, big man with football gets you through. Well, it doesn't get you through. That's what you're saying. Oh, I got you. 26-9, and all went down the tubes from there.
Yeah, I was one of the Rams plus 3.5 people. Rich.
You were.
Thank you.
Oh boy.
You're getting 3.5. You're ahead 26-7 on the field. Like, you're good.
Good.
And then you're not. And then they're gonna win the game or they're not. I'm good. I'm safe. No, you're not safe. That's why it's like, I don't know if you've ever been to Vegas or Atlantic City or any casino boat. You're playing blackjack and there's the person that's like, you got a 20 against the 6 and someone's like, oh, this is a good hand. You never speak until the dealer busts, right? And so anyone who would dare to speak on that game until the kick either missed or what happened, they know better. Nothing is said.
Nothing's said. So
Nothing is said.
So basically, the Philadelphia dealer hit 21 with 5 more cards after starting with 6 against your 20. Is pretty much what that was.
It was 2, 2, 3, 4, 6, whatever that adds up to. Yeah, that's what happened. It was a 7-card 21 in your eye hole.
Scott Van Pelt, thanks for the Zoom from the streets of New York already in your Monday Night Countdown suit, and I'm sure you've lost circulation in your right arm holding your phone this entire time. I really appreciate it, Scott. Thank you.
I can't feel the entire right side of my body. I'm an elderly person. I feel like it could be a medical event. We'll see. If I'm not on, it's because I died here on the streets for you, Rich.
Bless you, Scott. Bless you. Thank you very much. There's no I in Scott or Van Pelt, ladies and gentlemen.